Hi guys, Matt Gagliano back from Fitness Together. Some running tips for the springtime. Last video I talked about the bottom of the foot, increasing the suppleness of the fascia and the underlying foot structure. Today we're going to work up, and many of you have seen these. These are hand rollers. You can use any hard object at home. It does not have to be these particular items, but this is a lot more friction than this, and I'll explain the differences when we do this. So if you think about the lower leg, basically from the bottom of your knee down to the Achilles, there is a lot of tension on that leg. If you're a runner, there's a lot of pulling back and forth during the course of your runs. A lot of people get calf pulls, a lot of people get Achilles pulls. You know, if you have an Achilles strain, you're pretty much not going to be running for a while. Forget about an Achilles tear, you're pretty much out 8 to 12 months. So I'd like to show you some things that will hopefully loosen this up. Not to get gross, but if we think of the lower leg as something that we'd eat, if I was a cannibal, it would take a long time to boil that and to get that meat to be nice and loose. So that's how tight that is. It would take a good 12 to 15 hours to really loosen that up. So, that should kind of relate to a little bit how tight that area should be. Taking this roller, we're simply going to start in the bottom of the Achilles, and we're going to move that back and forth, trying to create some movement in the Achilles. I don't want you to go up and down. Just stick to that spot, pulsate at it, and move it back and forth. If you happen to see that your skin does not move too much from the actual muscle, that means there's some adhering going on. That is not a good thing. You need to loosen that up as much as possible. So that's a good little test to just check. So again, we're going to move that back and forth. We're going to work our way up. There's no set amount of rolls that you could do. Just back and forth right into that Achilles. All right, once you got the Achilles done, now we want to work on your peroneals. These are side muscles or lateral muscles, and these are important for stabilization of the leg. You will definitely feel this if you've never done this before. Again, apply a little bit of pressure. You can start in the top or you can start in the bottom, and you just want to work your way in one direction. And when you hit a spot, like right there for me, it's a little bit of a spot, I'm going to really whack that. I'm going to get back and forth on that. If you're finding that some areas are not so touchy, feel free to go right over it, and you really don't need to touch it because that muscle is already supple. We want to do the same thing on our gastrocnemius, so the backs of the calves. Roll that. That feels great. Right in there. Then you want to get the other head of the gastrocnemius. Let me turn around. And right in there. And then we can even get in to the inner leg here. Try to separate a little bit and then get right into that calf. You could lose a crossbar with that as well, driving that back and forth. We definitely use that with a lot of our clients, and that's where tendons are attached to the bone. Same thing for this. So a lot of people will see these types of rollers. These are used in a method called raking. So we have your tibialis muscle, and then we have an anterior tibialis bone, and an anterior tibialis muscle in here. We want to actually take this and rake it across the body. So in effect, we're actually ripping it, and we're ripping the tendon across the bone in order to loosen it up and to make it a little bit more supple. You shouldn't really experience a high amount of pain on this. It should be a little bit uncomfortable, and every week, the more you do it, the less pain you're going to have. Hope you enjoy.